Hello, my lovelies! This is Jenny from Jenny's Fun Facts. We just want to take a moment to thank you so much, P Eats Meal Preps, for sponsoring our episodes. New menu out every Friday, order by Sunday, delivered fresh by Tuesday, and guess what? They deliver to all Montreal surrounding areas as well. Healthy, fresh, and delivered to your door for free. Add them and our podcast on Instagram at p.eats_P as in Peter, R-E-P as in Peter, S. Thanks, P Eats Meal Preps.
Are you an intuitive empath? Intuitive empaths actually feel others' emotions, energy, and physical symptoms without the usual defenses that most people have.
Hi, and welcome to Noon Hour Out of the Box, episode 25. Thank you so much for joining us. Your love and support means the world to both Robert and myself. A huge, huge thank you to Jenny DeHame, our producer who makes all this happen, and to my incredible, fabulous mentor and good friend, my co-host, Mr. Robert D'Alessio. How are you today?
Esther, have I already said this before? I'm totally excited and happy to be here.
You're always happy to be here.
No, I never said that.
Feel it. And I feel it. I feel your happiness.
Okay, so I'm totally happy and excited to be here. Even though it's gloomy outside, I'm looking out the window. It's really gloomy. Winter is on its way.
I know.
And again, it's going to be a long, painful winter because I just can't stand winter. But you know what? I am blessed because I have two wonderful ladies I am working with. Esther Brzezinski, my amazing co-host, and our fantastic and outgoing producer, Jenny DeHame. And folks, just wait till you see the amazing work that she did for the Jenny's Fun Facts that we have on our show once again today.
Yay! Jenny's Fun Facts is back. And you know, Robert, I feel your excitement. I feel your joy. I feel you. And I know how positive and happy you are. And I've always felt that about you from the moment I met you. Well, I actually was through the screen in actuality. And I feel that I have always had that ability when I know that someone is good, when their energy is good. I know when someone is feeling a certain way.
You're gonna make me cry, Esther.
Oh, no, don't cry. But, and this is something I've experienced all my life, and I never really understood why that was. And in addition to being able to feel others' feelings, I would also get very easily overwhelmed. And I would sometimes need the time to sort of isolate myself, and I never really understood what that was all about. Several years ago, my daughter did some research on empaths and called me up and said, "Mommy, you have to watch these videos. This is you. This describes you." And after watching and learning and doing a little bit of research, I started to understand why I always felt the way I did. And it's very important to understand if you are an empath, because once you understand it, you'll understand how to regulate, how to use it, and also understand your need for self-care as well. So it's really, really a very interesting subject.
Well, you know, I believe I'm an empath myself because at one point I had to talk to myself, I had to slow down because I see people, I feel their pain. It could be friends, they're going through a very hard time. And it's as if I want to save the world. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for everybody. You know, at the end of the day, there you actually end up getting absorbed into other people's things. And it's that you're totally drained and you're totally tired. We're going to be talking about that in the slide presentation coming up here.
Yes. And so there are many different types of empaths. And in addition, it is important to know if you are, in fact, an empath. So let's start off by finding out what an empath is. So, do you often feel tuned into the feelings of people around you? Do crowds make you uncomfortable? Would you or the people closest to you describe yourself as a sensitive person? If so, you may be an empath. So, Dr. Judith Orloff describes empaths as those who absorb the world's joys and stresses like emotional sponges. And therapist Kim Eggle explains empaths have a higher sensitivity to outside stimuli, such as sounds, big personalities, and hectic environments. They bring a lot of heart and care to the world and feel things very deeply.
Well, there are 15 other signs that you may be an empath. You have a lot of empathy. You actually sense and feel emotions of others as if they're part of your own experience. In other words, someone else's pain and happiness become your pain and happiness. And intimacy can overwhelm you. Empaths often feel frequently, actually, let me take that over again. Empaths often find frequent close contact difficult, which can make romantic relationships challenging. It can cause stress and feeling overwhelmed and create a sensory overload. And you have good intuition. Well, just a bit like you said, Esther.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love what followed when you said that. Empaths tend to be able to pick up on subtle cues that provide insight on the thoughts of others.
Yes, so true. So empaths tend to take comfort in nature. Empaths feel more drawn to nature and remote areas since natural environments provide a calming space to rest from overwhelming sensations, sounds, and emotions. Number 5, you don't do well in crowded places. And I feel like that at times. I totally understand that. It's the overstimuli of those around you and the sounds and senses. So empaths can be easily overwhelmed by feeling everything more intensely. If you can easily sense how others feel, you'll likely have a hard time handling the emotional noise. I love that. The emotional noise from a crowd. And number 6, you have a hard time not caring. An empath doesn't just feel for someone, they feel with someone.
Number 7, people tend to tell you their problems. Sensitive, empathetic people tend to be fantastic listeners. Your loved ones may feel comforted by your support and reach out to you first whenever they experience difficulty. Number 8, you have a high sensitivity to sounds, smells, and or sensations. An empath's increased sensitivity doesn't just relate to emotions. There's a lot of overlap between empaths and people who are highly sensitive, and you might find that you're also more sensitive to odors and sounds. You need time to recharge. That's number 9, by the way. Heightened sensitivity to other people's problems can be draining, so empaths may find themselves easily fatigued, a bit like I was saying before.
Yes, and I understand that one so well. In addition, you don't like conflict. If you're an empath, you likely dread or actively avoid conflict. Higher sensitivity can make it easier for someone to hurt your feelings. Number 11, you often feel like you don't fit in. That's very key. Despite being highly attuned to the feelings of others, many empaths find it difficult to relate to others. And number 12, you tend to isolate. Yes, guilty as charged. Isolation can help empaths recover from being overwhelmed. So completely shutting out the world may seem healing, but prolonged isolation could take a toll on mental health.
Number 13, you have a hard time setting boundaries. If you're an empath, you may struggle to turn off the ability to feel and find it impossible to stop giving, even when you have no energy left. You see the world in unique ways. That's number 14. Deeper emotional understanding can drive your intuition, and you likely pick up on things other people miss or may make connections that aren't clear to anyone else. Number 15, you sometimes find it tough to cope with sensory and emotional overload. It can be difficult for empaths to protect themselves from taking on other people's emotions. I totally relate to that.
You see, I knew that you would. And I knew that you probably had a lot of the qualities of an empath. Absolutely, you do, Robert.
Sometimes I go to bed drained. It's not because of my day. It's because of what went on during the day. I was taking on everybody's problems. And what's fun for a change sometimes is to take on some other people's happiness.
Exactly, which I'm sure you feel as well. And just let's look back. When you were scouting for casting daily struggles, we would be in this Zoom class, and you were able to pick out people from, I think there was about 25 people in the class, and you picked out several people that you just knew. Now, where did that come from?
It's the vibe that people give,
Exactly.
and some of them were not even saying much. I remember when I saw Miriam Lopez, who's playing one of the newest characters on her show. She would just be sitting there and she wasn't talking much, but it's just looking at her, what she gave off.
Yes.
The sensory thing that you're saying, you don't have to speak. It's just the way the person looks. And we also had a discussion about the way I felt about a certain somebody, just by the way that that person presents herself or himself. We don't want to like pinpoint too much over here, but
right
on pictures. And
absolutely. You can see, you can feel the vibe, and that's something that empaths have. And imagine you have that stimuli around you 24/7. It's exhausting. So when you are an empath, you definitely have to take some me time. You need some self-care. So guys, if you recognize some of these characteristics in yourself, which I'm sure many of you have, because it's more common than you think, here are some tips for self-care for us empaths. So, number one, make your overall health and wellness a priority. Okay, that is a given, but that is especially important because you are busy 24/7, taking in the stimuli, taking in the feelings of others. And, within the empath category, there are different types, and it's quite astounding. So number two, don't be ashamed of your big heart. Robert, don't be ashamed of your big heart because you haven't. Number three, take an honest inventory. That's very important. Understand yourself, understand your needs. Put it down on paper if you can. It's important to understand yourself and forgive yourself for being drained and understand why that's occurring. Number four, remind yourself that saying no is not selfish. That's something that I've had to learn in my life. Saying no. It's not easy for us empaths. Number five, allow yourself time to recharge and regroup. Very important. Number six, keep up with hobbies or activities that allow you to express yourself. Yes. And number seven, like the lady here lying in her bubble bath, unplug. Yeah, something I have a hard time doing.
Hey, I'm hearing something that we haven't heard in a while. Remember, there's a little jingle playing in the background as if something really good is coming our way.
You are correct. I cannot wait.
Well, don't give it away, folks. Stand by. As we're going to be playing this video here, we're going to be signing off our show. So we're going to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Don't go away yet. We have to show you this amazing Jenny's fun facts that are amazing Jenny put together for you.
And it's really very much related to one type of empath called the intuitive type. So pay attention. This is brilliant.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, when our topic is going to be sleep apnea.
Ooh, I know that one.
And don't forget to tune in this upcoming Monday, November 22nd on Rob's Inner Circle. That's going to be at 8 o'clock on Monday evening when I'm going to be hosting the amazing award-winning filmmaker, Teresa Pichano.
We love Teresa.
Yeah. Stick around, folks. And by the way, this presentation is brought to you by...
Love it. Love that. Oh my God.
Jenny's Fun Facts.
Have you ever had an imaginary friend as a child? Or a guide? Someone with that same face, or look, or feeling that kept showing up in your life when you needed them most without realizing you needed them? But now that you look back at the situation, they came to you at the most perfect moment in your life. In a dream, in a vision, at the buffet table, or even during a plane ride. Have you ever walked by someone that gave you the impression that you were in some sort of matrix? The colors around you change all of a sudden. Time seems to pass slower as you are drawn to look back at that certain someone that passes you in the street. And what? They looked back at you too and smiled? Leaving you with that impression, did I just see that? Did that just really happen? No one would believe me if I told them. Were they an angel? Someone I met in a past life? Someone I am yet to meet in this life? Why them? Have you ever thought of a friend or a colleague or a family member and then, whoops, the phone rings and it's them? Have you ever had a vision that someone has died? You will get a job offer or someone will come to visit and then it happens? Have you ever had the worst migraine of your life and then you feel like you are being pushed out of your body quickly only to fly back into it just as quick, like a sense of soul vertigo? Then you experience an earthquake or hear that there was an extreme thunderstorm or a tornado less than 50 kilometers from you, or one is on the way? Have you ever felt nauseous, or you are ready to crawl out of your own skin like you just drank a full pot of coffee when the moon reaches its new phase, or its full phase, or that you find out that one planet is in conjunction with another? Have you ever heard your plants tell you that they are thirsty as you walk by them, and you just realize that you answered them back by saying, "Okay, I'll be back with some water"? Like, what? Did that just happen? Perhaps you are a dream, a telepathic, an earth, or a precognitive empath. But like Dr. Judith Orloff, author of the Empath Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People, suggests, don't go around thinking you are an all-knowing oracle. Be kind and know when it is appropriate to disclose your premonitions with someone. The answer is always about what will serve the person. She continues by stating, ask yourself, is this information appropriate to share? Would it help this person to know? Listen for an intuitive yes or no, and follow your guidance. Be weary and keep your ego in check if you are just trying to impress others with your talent. Remember, these are real people with real feelings. Words matter. If you get that itch, that feeling about someone and there is an emotional response, Orloff mentions that you are probably projecting your fear onto the person you feared for. If you receive what she calls a neutral tone, like about a coworker leaving her job, then chances are it may be true. Her suggestion, respect this gift always. Stay vibrant and maximize your ability and frequently connect with the earth. Before bed, ask yourself the ultimate question you would like the answer to for the next day. Create a journal and write in it during your hypnagogic state, the time between sleep and being awake. And like I mentioned earlier, words matter. Always be your authentic self. Learn to control your emotions, what you say, what you feel, yet embrace every moment so that you can enjoy your experience for the betterment of you and those you are feeling for at that exact moment. Oh, and don't forget to water your plants.